Welcome to the Personal Perseverance Project. My name is David Atkins, retired New York State Trooper, $1 Million direct sales international business earner, author, and keynote motivational speaker, where each week I come here to help you break through your excuses so you can live a life up to your fullest potential. Let the project begin.
That is my mindset. I operate on a level of excellence, and you guys need to wake up every single day, and you need to operate on a level of excellence and create your masterpiece.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of the Personal Perseverance Project. Happy Monday for all of you listening to this on the day that I usually release my podcast episodes, which is on a Monday. But I want to dive right into it. How do you foster resilience in your life? How do you deal with all of the stress and all of the things that life throws at you? And it's different for everybody, but I absolutely know with certainty that every human being has to handle stress on a day-to-day basis. Everybody in their life is either in a problem, you're either coming out of a problem, or there's a problem on the horizon tomorrow. That's just the reality of life. How do you handle it? And my question to you is, have you fostered daily habits in your life, daily routines in your life? Do you have a routine that you do day in and day out that helps you foster resilience? Or are you somebody that just kind of wakes up every single day? You are in complete reactive mode. Whatever happens, you react. Whatever phone calls, text messages, emails, social media notifications, things that happen to your kids at school, things that happen to your kids on your sport teams, whatever happens, you just are in reactive mode. If you are part of the latter of my two examples, you are probably somebody that is completely overwhelmed all the time, that is completely stressed out, is exhausted. You feel like you're burning the candle at both ends. You are struggling every single day to get by. You're not even enjoying your life because every day you're in survival mode. If you are somebody that is the example of what I explained, well, then you are going through those things I just went over, without a doubt. If you are somebody that has not fostered habits, positive habits that have given you routines in your life to help you deal with what life throws at you, because we all are dealing with stuff, then you are going to struggle you're going to struggle day in and day out. There's no two ways about it. You're not going to be able to live in a state of flow, to have happiness and joy. Yes, you're still going to have ups and downs, but you're never going to get control of it because you're constantly in survival mode, and that's not a way to live. So the reason I'm coming on here today with you guys is to share with you some of my daily habits that have led to routines in my life that 100% positively impact my life and be able to handle all that life's thrown at me. And I could tell you, on this Monday, I just came off a weekend, just to kind of give you some background, still recovering and rebuilding from a business that was that supported my family that we've had for 14 years, that has been stripped away from us. That has been very stressful. My middle daughter, who's on an ice hockey team, at 16 years old, plays very highly competitive ice hockey. They are like on the verge of either going to potentially make the playoffs or not make the playoffs. So I can say myself, as helping out as one of the coaches and managers, stress level is high, emotions are high with the coaches. There were some disagreements this weekend. So like you have personal stuff going on. I have business stuff going on. I have keynote speaking events that I have going on this week that I'm leaving tomorrow morning for a couple of days. I'm not getting back to the end of the week. I have just everyday life. Like, we all have stuff. And I know all the stuff will work out. Like the stuff with my daughter's team, it's working itself out. Good conversations I had. We're working out. The team is going to come together. We're going to figure it out. My business that was taken away from us, we are now have jumped in and aligned with another amazing company with Shackley, Kristen, and I, and our team is transitioning. We're figuring that out. My keynote speaking, it's a good stress because I'm packing and I'm doing what I love, so I'm handling that. But the point is this. My example to you guys is this. We all have our things going on, and they all often are different facets of our life, our kids, our business, our income, our relationships with our spouse. If you do not have things in place to get yourself back in line, and not back in line like you're in trouble, but back in a good state of being intentional and doing the things so that you can handle life stresses, so you can go forward, these things will overwhelm you to the point that you'll, I would say years may go by and you may not even recognize yourself anymore. You may be so stressed out. There's no joy in your life. There's no happiness in your life. So for me, it's my daily routines. For me, it is the things I need to do every single day. So I want to share with you something that I started years ago to help me get myself back on track. And I'm actually going to start, and I'm going to talk to you about my morning routine, and I'm going to talk to you about my daily routine. But I really want to start off and say that my success of my day starts the night before. And I think this is so important. Most people are on their phones and watching television and scrolling social media up until the point that they go to bed. And this is where I'm kind of going to dive into things that I do to help myself be in a good place. You are literally in front of the screen, having that light in your eyes, you're scrolling social media, you're watching television, like you're not allowing your body and your brain to unwind, to decompress, and ultimately get yourself ready to have a good night's sleep. You probably are somebody, if you do that, struggles with sleep. You're tossing and turning. You're having dreams about the last thing that you watched or you saw or the last conversation that you had. For me, I make sure that the time right before I go to bed, and I can tell you for me, at 9 p.m., my phone goes on Do Not Disturb. It goes to sleep mode, which is a setting on the iPhone that basically text messages don't come through. If I have a phone call, unless it's my wife or my kids, it's not coming through. At nighttime when I'm asleep, unless you're somebody in my family or immediate family, mother, father, brother, sister, it's not coming through. And I do that because the dings and the dongs and the text messages and the phone calls and all the sounds that our phones make are going 24/7, 365. And I don't want to be distracted by that stuff anymore. My time at night is to unwind, to let my body start to feel tired, to not be looking at a screen, to not be thinking I need to make a decision because I'm reading something, not to create emotions about something of how I feel towards something, maybe on social media that maybe frustrates you, or you're watching a television show, or you're watching the news, especially right now, and either you're getting excited or you're getting angry. That does not serve me to have a good night's sleep. So I shut it all down. The other thing I do is my notifications, my banners on my phone, the little icon that tells you how many notifications you have on your Facebook. It, for me, 24/7, 365 is off all the time. I don't need to know I have 73 notifications on Facebook. I don't need to see the banners of all of the emails I need to go to. Your phone is trying, it's a time sucker. It's trying to grab your attention to go down these rabbit holes in your life that are using, you only get a certain amount of energy a day for your brain. Your brain can only make so many decisions in a day. There's science behind that. After your brain makes, and it's tens and thousands of decisions that your brain's constantly making, but at a certain point, like my brain goes to mush. So I want to use my time wisely. Why? So I don't feel burnt out all the time. So I don't feel exhausted all the time. And those of you that are constantly on your phone, and go look at your screen usage. Go to your settings. Go look at your screen usage, your daily screen usage. It's going to blow your mind. Go look at it. I look at it sometimes, I go, whoa, I got to reel this in. This is too much. And that's even me sharing with you some of the habits that I have is my phone goes on sleep at 9 o'clock. My notifications are off. And I do this to get a good night's sleep. And I'm not staying up to 11 and 12 o'clock at night. I'm not. I am in bed most nights by 9:45, 10 o'clock the latest, because my alarm the next morning is going off at 5:30 in the morning. Which goes to my next set of habits. My alarm gets off at 5:30 in the morning. I really don't start exercising to 6:30. What am I doing in that hour? I could tell you what I'm not doing. I am not checking the news on my phone. I am not scrolling social media. I am not on the internet. I am not checking emails. I am not answering text messages. I am doing none of that until a couple things are getting done. And why? Because that is my time to work on my mindset in the morning, right? My family, my kids, the people that I'm going to speak to when I do my keynote speaking this week, for example, the hundreds of people I'm going to speak to this week, they deserve the best of me, not what's left of me. And that starts with the way I operate, the way I think, the way my energy feels. Listen, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And if you're focused on negative all the time, or you're focused on all the problems and you're in constantly reactive mode, your energy is going to suck. I'm just being very honest. But when I wake up in the morning, my habits are I start with prayer. And I start with prayer by not only a Bible app that I have, but I start with prayer with the Bible app, and then I pray. And the thing that I do within prayer is, for me, a person of faith, I focus on gratitude. I thank God for all of the things I have. And it could be as small as I have clean drinking water. It can be as small as I'm sitting on my couch in this corner with a blanket on my lap. My dog is lying at my feet. It is dark out. The silence of the world is around me. I'm not being, interrupted. My house is still asleep. It's time to just spend my time with God, because I believe I cannot navigate this thing called life by myself. So for me, I start with gratitude. It grounds me. It puts me in a place of calm, and it puts me in a place of appreciation and abundance. That's number one. Okay? Then after that, I also read. I read some stuff from Scripture. I have a book that, being a Catholic, it's the daily gospel every day. I read that. I can't stress enough, for me, being able to surrender my life, knowing that I believe in what I'm doing, and having that, God is my teammate, is a sense of calm. So that's, for me, that's the next thing, right? So I pray. Then I do personal development on top of that. And prayer and gratitude is personal development. But what I mean by that is I read something every morning that helps me be in a positive headspace. And it's different. The books can be different for everybody. But a book on personal growth, self-development, on all different principles of success is important to me. So I read that. So again, I'm fueling my mind with positive things. Listen to me. The most important thing you could ever do is to guard your mind like a prison. Garbage in, garbage out. And if you're constantly consuming negative stuff or what you see on social media and the news, that garbage in, it's like a weed, and it grows and it festers, and it makes you more of whatever the emotion that you're having. It creates more of it. But when I choose in the morning to be intentional, and part of having habits that help me foster resilience is you need to be intentional. These things, do I want to get out of bed at 5:30? No. Do I have to be intentional to open my phone up and not go down the rabbit hole? Yes. Do I have to be intentional to open up my app that's going to help me work with gratitude and the Bible and my faith? Yes. Right? Do I have to open that book up and be intentional to read? Yes, you have to be intentional. But these are my habits. And guys, before I go any further, why do I do this? Because when I do deal with all life's problems, like I had this weekend, I'm able to handle them. I'm able to deal with them and overcome them and right my ship, because I have these habits in place. Because I come from a place of thinking positively. I'm from a place of not what's wrong with it, but what's right of it. I'm a big believer. Constant negativity all the time, day in and day out, is not going to serve you. And I think so often, so many people were focused on the negative all the time instead of focusing on the positive. I'm focusing on the good things in the morning. And then I do meditation, guys. Then I meditate. Why? Because, and some people are like, oh, that's some crazy stuff. I can't do that. My mind races. Yeah, everybody's mind races. But you know what? Nobody's good at anything the first time you do it. That's a fact. But what has happened with me, for 10 minutes to listen to some relaxing music, maybe it's birds chirping, maybe it's waves breaking on the ocean, and there's apps that do this, right? I use the app Calm. When I put that on and I do 10 minutes and I focus on breathing in for 5 seconds and breathing out for 10, and I slow my breathing down and I just think of myself breathing. And yeah, does my mind wander? Of course. But I go back to my breath. And when I first started, it was 5 minutes and it was guided. It was somebody speaking to me on my breathing. It gives me a sense of calm for 10 minutes to be able to just have those long breaths. There's no better feeling. I mean, you could try it right now. Pause this and take 3 long inhales, count to 5 deep inhales through your nose, and then slowly let it out to 10. You do that 3 times, you will feel a sense of calm. But I do this because this is also what happens. This is like wild. It's a bonus. When I do find myself during the day in a life situation that brings on stress, I find that I have a way to be able to subconsciously, I catch myself stressing out and I just stop pause my brain and I go to my breathing and I slow my breathing down. Why? Because when you're worked up or you're frustrated or you're stressed, it is proven your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, all these things get affected. But when I do meditation in the morning, not only do I get myself in a state of calm then, but it has carried over to how I respond to life's daily stresses, and it helps me overcome hard times. Guys, these are all habits that I do in the morning, and this is almost 45 minutes to an hour of just mental work. Now, yes, then one of my daughters is up getting ready, and yes, we have to get her to the bus. And then my other daughter, I used to drive her to school at 7:40, and after I would do my mental work, I'd have to take my kids to school, and then I would exercise after. Listen, some of you may say, oh, David, I can't. As soon as I get up in the morning, I have a baby. Listen, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. It's how you manage your time. That's the difference. I went through 3 daughters of the baby and infant stage. I've been doing the things I'm sharing with you now for close to 14 years. My youngest daughter is not even that age. I did it before she was born and after. There's a way to work on these things. Yes, you may need to get up a little earlier. Yes, you may need to make sacrifices and not watch TV at night because it's not serving you. Yes, you may need to stay up a little bit later if you're going to get your exercise in. I don't know what it is, but I know this. You have the same time as me. I have my life stress. You have your life stress. The thing is, what is the cost to your future self by not investing in yourself now to take care of yourself? Is it worth the stress, the overwhelm, the anxiety of constantly being in reactive mode? You're burning the candle at both ends and you're exhausted all the time. Is that really a way to live? Is that really how you want your life to be? I know it's not. So you need to be intentional and foster daily habits that turn to routines that come like brushing your teeth. Me getting up in the morning from prayer to gratitude to reading personal development to meditation is like brushing my teeth. That's what it's come to. I even do it when I travel, okay? And then the last piece is exercise. For me, it's 6 days a week. Right now, I'm training for an ultra marathon, and I'm still lifting weights multiple days a week. I'm running 5 days a week. There's times that I'm traveling and I have to go on a treadmill and run 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles. And you guys know, like, running on a treadmill stinks. But you know what? It's not only so I physically and taking care of myself to live a long, happy, fulfilling life, but the byproduct of the mental benefits, the number one underutilized treatment for depression, anxiety, and a lot of the things that people struggle with is exercise. But we're so quick as a society to go to pills and potions and processed foods and alcohol, which goes to my other thing. And I'll come back to exercise in a second. Your gut health communicates with your brain. Like, I recognize when I eat a lot of sugary foods, I kind of am a little bit cranky. Why? Because your gut, the foods that you eat, it's science, 100% impacts your mood. So for those of you that are going to alcohol all the time, and I'm not telling you not to live your life. Do I have a beer maybe on the weekends? Yes. Do I maybe go 2-3 weeks, a month with no alcohol? Yeah. Do I have a weekend where maybe I'm away, say at my daughter's hockey tournament, and maybe I have a beer or 2 beers over the weekend, maybe 3 over 3 days? Yes. But the point is this, 95% of the time of my month, my days, I'm not consuming alcohol. 95% or 90%, I'm not that clean right now, of my diet is clean food. It's fruits, it's vegetables. Why? So I can feel good. So I have optimal health. So my energy is good. So I'm not dragging. So I'm not having sugar crashes. And so many people were relying on energy drinks. alcohol and sugar foods to get by. And you know what? Not only is it connected to so many diseases and cancer, it's affecting your mental well-being every single day. It is not a habit. That's not a habit you want to have. Alcohol, drinking alcohol, doing drugs, eating horrible food, drinking energy drinks day in and day out is not the habits that are going to help you get through the day. Exercise is going to 100% positively give you the same rewards that all that other crap does if you're willing to put in the work and do it. No, you don't need to run an ultra marathon like me. Go outside for a walk 4 or 5 days a week. Get your heart rate up. Get into a gym class. You don't need to spend tons of money. Do 100 push-ups. Get down. Do some push-ups. Do some pull-ups. You can do it. Like, where our habits are in the wrong. We've developed habits of things that are moving our life backwards. We're smoking, we're drinking, we're sleeping in, we're staying up late, we're watching the news, we're scrolling our phone. Like, of course you're stressed out. You're doing nothing to help your body and your mind improve for the better. So for me, exercise, as I was saying, is another thing. Then throughout the day, let me say this. Then and only then, once all that's done, I worked on my mental well-being, I took care of my physical health, then I can start my day and deal with what life throws at me. Yes, kid stuff is in between, but emails, notifications, social media, answering message on social media, all of those things, business things I need to do, they come after I take care of my mind, my body, and my soul. And when you have habits that will foster resilience, when you deal with things day in and day out, you will handle them a lot better. All right? But you need to go through a growth journey. Wherever you are right now, if you want the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to be in a better place, then you need to change. Your life doesn't need to change. You need to change. If you want more, as Jim Rohn says, you need to become more, right? And I love the analogy. It's, when somebody says the person that earns $1 million, it's not about the $1 million they earned. It's about the person they had to become to earn the $1 million. And I'm like, wow. Because I know the person that I needed, the growth journey, the things I just went over that I do every day, and I have to be intentional about them. Those things that I developed, those are some of the skills I had to develop to build my business to Beachbody and become $1 million earner over the time I was there, to become a professional keynote motivational speaker, to speak to thousands of people. That did not happen because, I'm going to go up on stage and speak. It's the person that I became. And that's why when I did a Instagram reel, when I lost my Beachbody business, I said, that does not define me. You cannot take away what the person I became in the last 14 years. You cannot take away the skill sets that I developed. You cannot take away the impact and connections and the friendships that I developed. You cannot take the leadership qualities and mentorship qualities that I had to learn to build a team to 1,400 people. You cannot take that away because it was the person I became. But my answer and explanation to you is that if you don't want to be burning the candle at both ends, and you want to feel like you're not simply surviving in life, but you're thriving in life, well, then you too need to go through a growth journey. And you need to start developing habits like some of the ones I explained to you to help improve your life. Okay? And are some days going to go off and bad things may happen? Yeah, it maybe happen. But I knew last night when I got home after a crazy weekend, right, between business and stuff with my daughter's team and just, me thinking about my keynote speaking, like when I got up this morning, it was right into those things. I said, I need to get my prayer back in order. Not back in order, but I need to get my prayer in. I need to get my gratitude in. I need to have a great workout. I did a 45-minute killer leg workout. I already know tomorrow I'm getting picked up early in the morning to get to JFK Airport. I already looked at my schedule. I got to get a couple miles running for my ultra marathon. It means I got to get up earlier. I know my schedule. Either you control your hours or they control you. That's the reality of it. Either you control your hours and you just go through the motions in life, or they control you. And I'm going to kind of wrap up with this. It's the 5 Ps, guys. 5 Ps. Maybe write this down or listen. Proper planning prevents poor performance. I'll say it again. Proper planning prevents poor performance. So my question to you is, are you planning ahead to get the things in? Or are you waking up in the morning with just enough time to get yourself to work, probably running late, probably speeding, probably getting in road rage incidents because people aren't going as quick as you want. It's not a way to live. You got to plan ahead. You got to be intentional with your time. It doesn't happen by accident. You got to be intentional. You got to go through a growth journey, and you have to start developing habits to help you improve your life. And the bonus, guys, is this: like one day a week, you need to recharge your batteries. For me, usually it's on Sundays. For me, it's I go to church and there's no business work whatsoever, no social media. I'll watch a football game, a baseball game, eat some good food, relax at home, take a nap if I can. Usually I'm at the hockey rink with sports, but I'm with my family. But the point is, you got to have one day a week to recharge your batteries because you can't be grinding 24/7, 365. I'm all about hard work and hustle, but work hard, play hard. And sometimes play hard is just doing nothing. So guys, that's it for my message for you guys today. If you want to feel more in thriving mode in your life, if you want to foster resilience, then what you need to do is you have to start developing habits, because the power of a routine is more powerful than you can imagine. And when life knocks you down, you don't have to think. You can just go back to the things that you know will serve you. So guys, please share this episode. Have a great Monday. Let's have a great week. Listen, you still have time in your life. Don't say, oh, I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm 70, I'm 80, I'm 100 pounds overweight, I have this, I have that. Guys, it's all excuses. You have breath, you have fresh air. This may be a page in your life. It may be a chapter in your life. It's not the book of your life. Guys, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Personal Perseverance Project. My goal every single day is to help people live up to their fullest potential. So please share this episode, subscribe to my channel, and maybe even leave a review. Be sure to connect and follow me on all my social media channels. And if you would like more information about me potentially being a keynote speaker at your event, or maybe you want to work with me one-on-one as your private coach, be sure to go to my website at davidatkins.com for more information. Thank you.